You know, that's a new tractor from TYM.
Yep.
That is crazy. 3,400 pounds.
Yeah.
On a sub 60 horsepower chassis.
They upgraded the lighting.
The lighting.
Huge.
It's awesome. Hey guys, Jake at ITC, and I have Jake from SR1 with me. So Jake is the shop foreman out of the Turner location, and we're gonna pick his brain on some TYM stuff. We're gonna see about some common issues and what can be done to prevent those issues from happening. So we're here at the Augusta Civic Center where they're doing the 2025 Equipment and Tractor Expo. Jake, thanks for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome. Not a problem. Love doing it.
So we're gonna bring you inside and we're gonna walk through some machines. We're gonna learn as much as we possibly can from the perfect person to talk to. So come on with us, let's go. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So we are inside of the Augusta Civic Center. We're gonna check out some of these TYMs. And Jake, where do you wanna start with this?
I think we'll start on the smaller end, go T25.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
So we're here at a T25. What's the good, bad, and ugly on this thing?
Well, this one is by far one of our most popular models because of the versatility of it.
Okay.
The good part, the third function on these is factory as far as the button goes. So that eliminates having to pull the shifter or do anything else extra. And the kits are just a quick bolt on, nice, easy, nice, clean. All the plumbing goes right alongside the loader arms.
Yep, those steel lines, that's really nice.
Yep. And they are very nice, clean look, and they function very well.
So what kind of person buys one of these tractors? Like, where are they at in their own life?
A lot of times it's usually homeowners or kind of hobby farmers. They'll have a couple horses, goats, sheep, things like that. And they're nice and easy. Flip the ropes back. You can get in and out of barns. Nice, small, low impact on the ground. The bucket seems to be a good size for all of that, getting into tighter doorways of barns.
Makes sense.
Yep.
So what kind of issues do you see with this tractor? You know, and how often are you seeing those issues? Is it something that you're seeing, you know, repeated over time and something that's a real problem, or just some stuff that has happened that could have been prevented by X, Y, or Z?
A lot of it comes down to the cleanliness and how it's kept. I mean, just if you keep it clean and keep it up, it's going to take care of you. A lot of people won't run it through the mud and they'll get dirt in the seals, or they won't keep things lubricated properly. A lot of that goes a long way. Wash it down when you're done. That way no grit's getting in any of your seals. If you run it through any amount of snow, try to melt any ice buildup in there. Keep those out of your seals. No water buildup gets in. And
so what kind of issues on this chassis are you guys seeing?
just not a lot on these ones. They've refined it quite a bit. Lubrication on those 3 levers there, that's about the biggest thing. If you just keep these where they pivot down below, keep them lubed up, keeps everything working nice and free.
So these 3 levers over here?
Yep, right in here.
And all the lubrication points are down in here, I'm assuming?
Yeah, you got 3 points of pivot, or 2 points of pivot down in there. And then PB Blast or WD-40, any penetrating lubricant spray on those. Sometimes these 3 levers will move right back and forth if you don't keep them lubed up.
And they move all back and forth together, I'm assuming? Yeah, because they all get bound up together.
Just love to stay together.
So what about the loader controller, right? Because like on my New Holland, I know that if I don't keep these cables lubricated, they eventually will start jamming and then they snap. And then the only way to get the cable is to buy the whole loader control assembly.
Yeah.
So do you see anything similar over here with freezing up?
Not a lot on these. Sometimes the bigger models will see that. But these ones seem to be pretty good. On occasion, we'll get one in that needs lubrication. So it wouldn't hurt to keep those lubed. But it's not so much on this model. So
the moral of the story with this machine is to keep it clean and keep it lubricated, and then you're good.
Yeah.
It's been a good machine for you guys.
It has been.
So I think this is their #1 selling tractor, TYMs.
Yep.
Which makes sense. The price point on this tractor is really good for how much of a machine you're really getting.
It really is.
Tony's got one on his YouTube channel. Rufus, I think, is the name of C25, and he uses the crap out of that thing.
I mean, he'll even say it's his favorite tractor.
Yeah, he put the mulcher on the back of it. Like, he's done all kinds of stuff with this tractor. Yeah. So he's definitely awesome at showing what they're really capable of. But it's good to hear from you.
Yeah.
So what tractor do you want to kind of go over and talk about next?
We'll go to one of my favorites, which is the 574.
Okay, awesome. Let's do that.
Out of the
Got
whole
one of
fleet,
these
that's
right
probably
over
my
here
best.
next to our booth.
Yeah.
So this 574's got this bad word mulcher on the back of it.
Yes.
That thing is awesome. Okay, so here we are.
This is actually new to us. I haven't seen that for one of our attachments yet.
Now, do you want to check out this 574, or do you want to check out one of the cab, or do you want to circle back to that?
We can circle back to it.
Okay. So this is the 574. Walk me through this one.
So
what's the good, bad, and ugly on this machine?
The good is loader capacity is right around 2,600, so that compensates for a lot of people that are trying to use a smaller tractor, but they want a little bit more lift. So they kind of utilize this frame size tractor with the lift capacity. So with loaded tires on the back, that 2,600 pounds, it's a very strong, capable tractor.
Yeah, that's a strong loader.
It is. And
I think that my 75 horse New Holland is only rated at right about the same.
Yeah.
As far as weight wise, and that's a considerably bigger tractor.
It is.
So what issues do you see with this chassis? Because I know that we've heard some things, but it's more like running over sticks and brush and rocks and like getting damaged that way.
Yep.
Which obviously is preventable by not being in the situation, or preventable by upgrading and adding some of our equipment. But other than that, like, what kind of issues? Is it similar with the T25, or are things a little different with this?
Front end wise, same as the T25 with your pivot seals. You just want to keep any ice, grit, anything out of those seals. And like you said, with the sticks underneath, if you have it's got rubber elbows for your hydraulic lines. Sometimes those do get caught, but that can be prevented with protection.
Yeah, right. Okay, so is there any key features on this machine that like you really like? I mean, other than just its size and capacity, what is it?
Dual rear remotes.
Dual rear remotes?
Yep.
Now that's an upgrade option.
Nope.
Obviously.
No, that's standard on this.
That's a factory option.
Yep.
And then can you go up to 3 or 4?
I have seen 3, but it's kind of a different setup.
To change out the whole valve block and everything to get that third function, or that third rear remote, not third function.
Right.
And the third function on this is a relatively simple process for installing this.
Yep. Same thing as the T25. It's already got your buttons up top, right on your loader control, and then it's a plug and play valve, goes right underneath, and same with the lines that follow right up through.
So you have the same hard lines right on there.
Yep.
So now, is this like a true third function, or is it a diverter valve where you have to hit the button and then move
No, this is a true third on this.
Okay, so this is a true third function.
Yep.
Awesome.
And
do you have any other notable things about the 574?
I love this engine.
The engine?
The engine on it.
Talk to me about it.
The engine in this one, we use the same as the 494. This one's turboed. And for being the 55 horsepower engine that this is, and I use one of these for plowing at SR1 and Turner, and I have a pretty big snow pusher on the front of that.
Okay.
I've ran a 7 foot and an 8 foot.
And it handles an 8 okay?
And it handles the 8 okay. I ain't saying I'm like pushing a lot with it, just because.
Sure. I mean, how much snow are you pushing with? Because pushing 4 inches and pushing 12 inches are not the same thing.
Right.
So like, how much snow can you actually push with that 8 foot pusher with this chassis?
I can keep up with like a 4-inch storm.
Okay.
And do about a 200 foot push before it really starts knowing it's on there. And that's quite a lot. Just the employee parking lot there is about 200 by 200. So we're doing full pushes between this and then one of our loaders. And this one does a very good job. I plowed with the 494 last year, and a 7 foot pusher was good on that. But this one being 8, that extra foot each pass makes a big difference.
Absolutely. So now when you're pushing with an 8 foot pusher and your box is getting full, I'm assuming that at some point it becomes a straight line only machine where you no longer have the traction on the front to turn.
Yep.
Okay.
So just leave it in that float mode, and that tends to keep your front end, just bump it right forward into the float mode, keeps that front end down. So you got all 4 wheels turn.
Awesome.
Makes for a good snow removal machine.
Now, what else about this engine do you like? Is it just that it feels like it has good power, or as it like on the tech side, are you seeing this engine not be coming back with issues, or what's your thoughts there?
It's rare that we'll see it come back with any issues, unless someone neglected their first service or a service in general. You start getting any amount of runtime on oil. Oil's good for so long. So change it out, keep up on that. And I love that it's a mechanical diesel. There's no electronics. Your only
Okay, so
electronics
this is a full
on this.
mechanical engine.
Yep.
Okay.
The only electronics on this is for your DPF regen system.
All right, so this is a fully mechanical engine, and because of that, there's a lot of components that are just a lot simpler.
Yep.
So I'm not super familiar with this engine, but I'm assuming there's either a rotary or a small inline pump,
Yep.
and then goes to hard lines, and then those go up to a fuel nozzle or fuel injector in the cylinder head.
You got it.
Okay. So this would be what's called a PLN system, the pump line nozzle.
Yep.
Of, you know, in opposed to, I don't know what this one has,
Same.
but same over
Same
here.
in that.
But opposed to a lot of the like the common rail
Exactly.
injection stuff.
Yep. This one's back to basics of what everyone's trying to go back to from what we've noticed.
Well, it's been it's hard for a lot of manufacturers to meet Tier 4 standards without that advanced control that the common rail gives you.
Exactly.
So it's cool that they were able to figure that out and meet those emission standards and kind of bring mechanical back.
Yep, it really is.
Awesome. Well, what do we got next? Where are we going?
Well, we have a new 4058 right over there.
Okay, the 4058. Now that's a new tractor from TYM.
Yep.
So I saw that at the National Farm Machinery Show when I was out there. They had these on display. So I think these are the same ones that were in Kentucky.
Yes, they are.
Cool. So
Came in fully enclosed trailer to us, so that they were nice and clean when they showed up.
Wish I did that for you guys and I brought tractors back.
We'll work on an enclosed trailer for you.
Well, we had that conversation on the way up here. Like, should we get an enclosed trailer and get it wrapped? All right.
That wouldn't be bad.
I know, right?
That would be.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yep.
But it needs to be a big enclosed trailer.
I think we could help you.
I think we may know somebody that sells some trailers, huh?
At least a couple trailers a year.
Yeah, right. So, talk to me about this. This is a new tractor, right?
It is a new tractor.
But not entirely new because it's based off of something else.
Right. This is based off the 5835R.
Okay.
Which is the 2300 engine, just like the 574, but a couple more horsepower coming in at 58. And this steps into the first of the power shift or power shuttles, where you've got electronic feed times on each of your forward and reverse clutches.
Mm-hmm.
So underneath 5 miles an hour, you can flick it forward and reverse without hurting anything. There's no foot clutch needed.
What happens over 5 miles an hour?
That I have not experienced.
Okay.
I just know that you stay under 5.
You're supposed to stay under 5.
Yep.
I say that because my New Holland has got an electric over hydraulic, shuttle shifter on it.
Yep.
And you could be doing 15 miles an hour and just flip it the other direction, and it's going to come down, stop, and rip backwards. Yeah,
that's impressive.
It might stall when it tries to go backwards, because if you're in 15 miles an hour, you're in a pretty high gear, right? So it might actually stall instead of engage, but it's going to try. That's a 2007, so there's no like advanced safeties or anything built into it. Now, I think I saw that you can adjust that engagement rate, right?
Yep.
So talk a little bit about the operator station and what's going on with this tractor, because this is a bit different than the other tractors we've looked at.
Right.
A little bit more complex.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about that.
You've got your 4-speed trains over there.
Okay, so we've got a 4-speed transmission here.
Yep, 4-speed over there.
Yep.
And then your A, B, and C for your range over here.
Okay.
And as you were saying with the sensitivity, you've got that dial right here. You can adjust how much that clutch is going to grab, whether you're going fast or slow for your engagement on it.
So there's a dial right here, right next to the shuttle. So this dial you can rotate back and forth, and it determines how fast this engages.
Right.
So you can have it gauge more abruptly or a bit slower, depending on what you're doing with the tractor at the moment.
Exactly. You want nice, easy, gradual grab on that clutch. That's what you can dial it right into. And if you reach on that side of that shifter right here,
yep.
See that blue button on the side of it?
The blue button right here.
Right there?
Yes, blue button on the shifter.
Yep. That does the same exact feature as your foot clutch.
So this is a D-clutch button.
Yep.
And they can get away with doing this because this is an electronic system, so the truck is the clutch is electronically actuated.
Yep.
Or is it hydraulic that's powered by electronic actuation?
No, it's electric.
So it's a full electric disengagement on the clutch itself.
It's just pretty much a button, just like it is up there, it is down there. It's just on or off.
I just didn't know as far as like in the system, whether it was a solenoid that moved something that said, okay, let's now flow oil here to pull this clutch back, or if it was, because I know my experience with big trucks is they have, some of them have like a big electronic actuator on them.
Yep.
And it's like the actual electronic actuator is what pulls the clutch back. So I didn't know if that was similar or if it used hydraulics or how the system worked.
I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay, it is new.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll find out.
We will find
Next
out.
year we can update this.
Yeah.
with that. Now I see this has got 2 remotes here.
Yep, and that is a
And it's got
factory
a spot
setup.
for a third, so it's factory with 2 remotes.
Yep.
But it doesn't have the buttons up here on this.
It doesn't. And a lot of the Branson's style, the 4-digit TYM models, don't have that.
Okay.
It's more the T series that'll have that factory button setup. But,
so if
I mean,
it's got
easy enough
4
to add
digits in the model number, then was a Branson tractor.
Correct.
And if it has 3 digits, it's a TYM tractor.
Yep.
Okay. That's a good way for people to tell the difference.
Right.
So what else do you like about this tractor? I mean, what is this running for an engine? What does this have for lift capacities, right? Because the 5835 had some pretty nice specs on it as far as lift capacity. So does this share all of those or better or worse? Or?
I haven't seen the loader specs on it.
Okay.
Just kind of basing it off the 5835. It should be around the 3,400 mark for a lift capacity.
Which is crazy.
It is. Out of this size utility tractor.
That is crazy. 3,400 pounds.
Yeah.
On a sub 60 horsepower chassis. That isn't much bigger than the 574.
No. I mean,
That's
you get taller, narrower tires on it. I usually end up taking everything in the woods. That's why this is one of my favorite tractors.
Okay.
Just because of the extra ground clearance of it.
Ground clearance and strength in general.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's got the electronic control for your 3-point lever in the back instead of just a mechanical lever.
Okay, so what's your advantage there?
There's no lever in the way.
Okay.
If I was to get something like this and get like the Fransgard wood winch or Farmy winch on it, that style, it's just less to be in the way when that winch is coming up and down.
Though you're talking the lever on the back that actuates it up and down?
Right.
So this is a push button back there to do that for you?
Rocker switch.
That's really cool.
So that's not in your way at all.
Okay.
So you're up out of the way when you're trying to bring that up and down.
Yep.
And I think it's just a much cleaner setup.
I can see that. Now there's a lot more adjustability with this though.
There is.
With different controls, and you've got a bunch of knobs, and I know that back here on this cover it flips up.
Yep.
And you've got more adjustments yet inside of here. So this, I mean, it seems like a really nice system.
You can dial it right into how fast you want it to lift, how slow you want it to drop. There's a lot to it.
So this is a Bosch control system,
Yes.
I believe.
Yep.
So with the 5835 being the predecessor to this tractor, chassis wise, from what I've heard, is they're pretty similar, and this has just kind of got some upgrades, a facelift, new nomenclature.
Yep.
So what did you see chassis wise with the 5835? Are they a good, rugged machine?
For the ones that we've sold, I don't think we've ever seen them back for anything.
That's good.
It is.
If you sell it and never see it again, that's awesome.
Service is about the only thing that we go out and do, and I mean, the customers that have them absolutely love them. They'll call back once in a while just to see when their next service is, really.
Okay.
Questions about different fluids, which are all UTF for hydraulic oil and then engine oil. I mean, it's a pretty solid tractor if you're looking to have something more utility for around a bigger farm, something like that. Or for my case, I'd end up in the woods. I know I would, and I'd end up doing something I shouldn't. But
yeah. So we don't have anything designed for this chassis yet, but it's on our to-do list.
All right.
I don't think I can take this one. This one doesn't belong to you, so I have to talk to somebody else about that. But we're taking 2 tractors back with us already. So we're bringing 20 series open station and T654 is what we're going to be bringing back with us this time. So we'll get those done. And rumor is that someone might be sending an excavator. So,
yeah, I was just hearing that.
Yeah.
So
that's
I'm excited for
rumor
that
on
one.
the street. Rumor on the street.
Now, have you guys done any work with the excavators for protection packages?
No, sir.
No.
And we've pretty much just focused on like the tractor stuff.
Yep.
Kind of staying within the market that we've built for ourselves, but also at the same time, if you guys are wanting something, in this case, the sales manager for the XCMG is talking about upfitting and upgrading some of the XCMGs. So, I mean, if they have the call for it and would like us to put the time into it, then we're willing to.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see how that goes. That'll be a fun project in the future. I've got a fair amount of excavator experience, running them and playing around with them. Not a ton of time designing for it. I did do a skid plate. I think he was telling me about that earlier. So we did the skid plate on that 235 Devlon that we built out a 5/8 AR 400, which is probably a little bit overkill for a 10,000 pound excavator. Because
You'd be surprised what would hold up.
That's fair. But you could take that 60,000 pound chassis and park it on top of a stump and just spin it in circles and not hurt that skid plate.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty serious. So what is this tractor behind me? So this is also new, right?
It is.
Let's come over and take a look at this. 31.5 for a 25 horsepower tractor that seems to be built pretty rugged.
Yeah.
With a cab and heat and air.
And they upgraded the lighting.
The lighting.
Huge.
It's awesome to see that the tractor manufacturers are starting to realize this. And I hope for all customers' sakes, this becomes standard on every cab model tractor.
I hope it does. It's just such a more streamlined look to it. And the visibility that you're going to gain is huge.
Absolutely. The amount of light that something like that puts off. I mean, people usually swap out and upgrade their lights on cabs, and they talk about how big of a difference it was.
Right.
Switching from a couple lights to LEDs is a big difference. Switching to a light bar,
From even 2 LED pods is a big difference.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The LED pods is a big difference. That is just wow.
No, it's huge.
So I don't know. It looks like it's a spot and flood combo, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So you get a bit of that reach as well as the full flood effect.
Exactly.
Okay. So you said the door handles on this are
door handles on this look to be from a 20 series.
Okay.
I'll be talking to the rep today that actually designed this remodel of this tractor.
Okay.
So the older style door handles had just a lever that you would push down, and it was kind of a stiffer setup. This one, that's it. The older one, you have to hit the first latch and then push it closed to make it latch smoother.
Okay.
Or make it latch completely. This one, being nice and easy like that, it's just much more user friendly.
Now you have a representative from TYM that's here that is directly involved with the process of designing new equipment to bring to market, right?
Correct.
And I saw him yesterday. I saw him just going around and it was really cool. He's just talking to customers and consumers and people that are walking in and getting feedback. And he had a notepad, and it was a notepad, and it was full of just notes from conversations that he had. So it's awesome to see that kind of support. Not only that you're getting as a dealership, but as TYM is giving as a brand. They're out at an event, getting that feedback from the customers. And it's not someone out collecting data to bring back to somebody else. It's actually the guy that is making a lot of those decisions is collecting the data.
Exactly.
So that's really cool to see.
And what's neat about TYM is that when they come to our locations, because they'll do on-site training with us, is they'll actually sit down with us. So we've got 4 or 5 different reps sitting at the same table, and we're just writing list after list after list, and they're getting it all together and taking it all in. And then usually within the next year or two, we'll see things that we reference change.
See those changes actually start to get implemented?
Yep.
Yeah, because that takes time. Obviously, you can't expect it to happen overnight.
No.
But that is cool. Anything else notable about this machine or the others that you'd like to bring up?
The seat.
The seat?
The seat has been a massive upgrade.
In both of these?
Yeah.
So I think I heard that one's a new seat as well.
Yep.
So what's up with the seat on this?
You've got about 6 inches of really comfortable seat right there.
Okay.
That the older ones kind of had a lesser design, lesser desirable seat. Just you could sit in it and you'd get used to it. But I feel like with this one, you're going to be working a lot more comfortable for hours.
Okay.
Especially with the cab and the blendable heat front to back on it. They did keep that from the 1520 series
So
cabs.
blendable heat from front to back.
So you've got your 2 intake vents in the very back.
Yep.
And then you've got these 4 vents pointed right at the operator.
Yep.
And then these 2 vents in the front towards the windshield.
So you can switch where your air is going to.
Yep.
That's really cool. Awesome. Well, Jake, I appreciate your time and getting on camera and kind of talking about the stuff. Things are starting to pick up here at the show, so we'll probably have to go and get to work. But thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's cool to get your insight, and maybe next year we'll run it back after you've had another year with these tractors and kind of see if those opinions are still the same.
Oh, I got a feeling they'll be going up.
The opinion will be going up. Perfect.
I know I'm going to like this one a lot.
Well, I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you for coming in. And
Absolutely.
Appreciate you showing up.
All right.